Welcome to Random Talk with Everbee Magazine. I'm your host, Selena. Today we're going to be talking about girls. What do you think about the stereotype that girls are not supposed to get along and that they all hate each other? Are girls really the biggest gossipers? Are they catty? Do they not get along? We're going to be talking to real girls and get their real opinions about this issue. Hi, how old are you and what's your name?
I'm 17 and my name's Alana.
Well, Alana, I just wanted to ask you a few questions about girls. Now, do you think there's a stereotype that girls don't get along and they all hate each other and they're all backstabbers? Like, what do you think about that?
I think there's definitely a stereotype about that, but it's totally not true. There's so many girls that are kind-hearted and get along well, but I know that from movies like, Mean Girls, there's a stereotype that girls are just, jealous all the time, but that's not always the case. Yeah.
Where do you think these girls are? Are they, elementary school, high school, or do you think women in general like that, or do you think it's the younger girls that are like that?
I think some people get to an age where they kind of grow out of it, but it is probably starting in elementary and early years of high school. But
do you have any womanly influences in your life that maybe steer you away from doing those kind of things?
I know this sounds kind of cheesy, but I guess people like my mom or older women in my life, that are part of my family or just family friends that, just give us advice and ground you. And whenever there's kind of bad situations going on, they just explain that it's okay and how to be mature about it. So, yeah.
Is there, one piece of advice you'd give to young girls that are, maybe they're going back to school in September and, it's the first day of high school or something and they want to make some friends. Is there any advice you'd give them about that?
Yeah, just be yourself and don't try to impress other people and make friends because of who you are, not because of who you want to be. Like you just want to be popular. Just make friends with people that are like you, who have similar values, because those are the people that are going to stick with you for a long time.
Hi, can you give us your name and how old you are?
I'm Una and I'm 15.
All right, well, we have a really tough question for you today. We want to know what you think about girls and this whole stereotype about girls not being able to get along.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that if you find somebody you can get along with, then it's fine. But I think that a lot of girls, they do tend to start a lot of drama. And I think it's because I don't know, they want more excitement into their lives and they find it through drama and stuff. But yeah, I think you can get along with somebody as long as you find similar topics. Doesn't really have anything to do with girls. I mean, guys have fights too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you think it's young girls in high school and elementary school, or do you think it's older women in college and university, or where do you think it comes from?
I think it's mostly high school because we're kind of immature at this point. So when we get to college, I'm guessing it'll be different. I hear it should be, so yeah.
Have you ever had any of those experiences in the past, sorry?
Yeah, I have. Girls, they just like to start unnecessary drama. It's kind of silly, but whatever. It's just high school. You live with it.
Have you learned any lessons from any of these experiences?
I've learned that just stay away from those crowds and they should leave you alone. If they start it for no necessary reason, but if they're not with along, if you're not in that crowd, it should be fine. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. What's your name and how old are you?
I'm Myra, 19 years old.
And what do you think about girls and the stereotype of that girls don't get along and they're catty and they don't really like each other?
Well, I think it's normal for girls just because we're just normally insecure, and what we usually just go by what people say and what the people around you say, and we don't really think about it. So I think we jump into conclusion that every girl is against everyone, you know what I mean?
Do you think all girls are like that, or is it girls in a particular age group?
I think as much as they'd hate to admit it, I think everyone is like that, and they can't really stop themselves from being as one. We are girls, I mean.
Have you had any personal experiences with this?
Not major, but there's always going to be the people saying stuff behind your back, but not really major, cat fight or anything.
Do you think that's important to think about when you're choosing your friends or you're deciding who to hang out with?
Yeah, I mean, I guess like once you get to know the person, they kind of like you kind of get to see who they really are. And then you figure it out once you actually know them, because you can't really tell by just like, meeting them first time.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.